Moving to Colorado sounds amazing until you make one of these mistakes that causes you time, money, and a lot of stress. After helping tons and tons of people relocate to the state of Colorado, I've seen the same 5 mistakes over and over again. And today I'm going to share with you exactly how to avoid every single one of them. Hey, I'm Taylor Ratliff, and this is Moving to Colorado, and this channel is meant to be your resource for all things relocation when it comes to Colorado. If you're thinking about moving here in 2026, if you're thinking about buying a home here, if you have questions about different neighborhoods, different cities, commute times, just anything about moving to Colorado, I want to be a resource for you. So definitely make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that bell, and then make sure that you reach out if you have any questions about how to actually get to Colorado. I'll put all my information right here. And then without further ado, let's hop into the video. The number one mistake that I see my clients make, and most people that are making a move from out of state to a different state, is that you don't truly understand the difference between the areas. And a lot of people, when they are thinking about relocating to Colorado, they tell me, Taylor, I want to move to Denver. And oftentimes you don't really want to move to Denver. That's just really the only city that you're familiar with. And so the biggest mistake that you can make is moving here, not understanding the layout of the different cities and the proximity to where you're going to be working, commute times, how far away these different cities and locations are going to be from the airport, how far away they're going to be from the activities that you want to do. How much population each city has. All of that is very important. And so this is kind of two-factored, because another mistake that people make is you try to navigate this solo, and you try to do this on your own, and you're trying to really figure out a boots on ground realistic view of what it's like to live in an area that you don't live in yet, and it's very overwhelming. And so the best thing that you can do to really help you understand these different areas is reach out. I would be more than happy to go through a discovery call and really get to know who you are, what kind of lifestyle you're looking to live, what's important to you, what you need to be close to. And then based on that information, we're going to map out the areas that you should be focusing on. Not a huge generalized area that is going to lead you to exhaustion, especially if you're going to be traveling here for showings. We don't want to be driving all over the state to show you homes, because not all of those homes are going to fit. We want to do our due diligence beforehand so that the homes that you're looking at are in the areas that are going to fit, and they're homes that you truly are interested in putting an offer on. So it's very important to understand the different areas. This is the number one mistake that I see people make. And if you have questions about this, definitely reach out. Put my information right here. And then I also have a relocation guide that is free for you to use and download in the description below. And that's going to take you through the map, through different cities that are very popular in Colorado, all the way from Fort Collins down to Colorado Springs. And if you want to dive into that, it's going to share commute times, school ratings, it's going to share different attractions, photos, and then you're also going to have a generalized description of the area and also a home search that is attached to that. So if you want that, it's going to be in the description below. It's free for you to use. And then after you do that, the next step is reaching out so that we can really get clear on where we should be focusing. And I can put all of that information in front of you so that if you're going to be coming out to Colorado to look at a home, or if you're going to be buying a home sight unseen and we're only doing FaceTime and sending videos, then you just really want to be clear on the area that is going to be right for you and not have a generalized area, because the people that have a generalized area and don't do their due diligence and don't do their research and don't ask for help during this phase of the process, they end up buying a new home and selling the one that they just bought. And usually it's within the 2 years. They're paying capital gains taxes if it has appreciated to that amount. And they're spending a lot of money in closing costs, a lot of money in moving costs, because they didn't ask for help. So ask for help this is what I'm here for. And make sure that you download the free relocation guide in the description. Mistake number 2 is underestimating the cost of living. So this is something that we did personally, and it was definitely a huge sticker shock to realize that even though we were making more money, it really equaled out for the first couple years because the cost of living was so much more than what we were used to in southern New Mexico. So you need to make sure that you understand fully how much it's going to cost you to live in the area that you want to be in, and that you understand how much it's going to cost differently for you to go from where you're at right now to the area in Colorado that you want to be in. Because the worst case scenario is that you move to Colorado, you spend a bunch of money moving here, and then you end up in a house and that's the only thing that you can afford. That's what we call house poor. And in Colorado, when you're house poor, you're not able to enjoy the Colorado lifestyle because all you are doing is working to afford the roof that is over your head. And that is miserable. That's the last thing that you want to do. And it's actually better for you to not move to Colorado or choose a different state over doing that, because most people that underestimate the cost of living, they move to Colorado, they realize that it's very expensive, they work very hard for 1 to 2 years to save up enough money to either move out of state to a different state or go back home, and that's just very defeating. So you can get it right, you can avoid making this mistake, you can avoid spending thousands of dollars just to get it wrong and have to go back home if you reach out. And I can provide you with all of the tools, all of the resources so that you can easily input the city that you're in right now and all of the areas that you're interested in Colorado. And you can also map out, based on the cost of living, what area in Colorado is going to be more favorable for you as well. But cost of living is a lot higher in Colorado than most places. For some places, it's going to be less expensive, but you just want to be aware. You just want to be very, very prepared and not underestimate the cost of living, because this is a big mistake that I see a lot of people making when they don't reach out for help before making the move. Okay, mistake number 3, and this is a big one that if you make this mistake, we really have to pivot afterwards, and oftentimes we are met with some troubling information because of this mistake. So mistake number 3 is that you are not getting pre-approved, you're not talking with a lender, you're not talking to a realtor, and you are wanting to move out here and buy a home. So that is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make, because if you move out here, or if you're even coming out here to look at showings and we are going on showings, or you're even looking at open houses or new builds, and you fall in love with an area, you fall in love with a house, one of the things that can happen is that when you then get pre-approved, you might find out that you can't actually afford this house. And so all of a sudden, the neighborhood that you've fallen in love with, the homes that you've fallen in love with, you aren't able to have that. And that can be very defeating. The second thing that can happen is that in the time that it takes for you to see the home, fall in love with the home, and then decide that you want to get pre-approved so that you can put in an offer, because we need a pre-approval if we want our offer to hold any weight. Sometimes it takes you up to a week to find all of your documents and to get everything set and sent over to the lender. And then they need some time. My lenders work very fast, but they do need some time to go through those documents and give you a pre-approval and let you know how much you can purchase for and what monthly payment that is going to look like and what interest rate that's going to look like. And in the amount of time that it took for you to get all your documents over to the lender and for them to give us an answer, somebody else could have fallen in love with the same home, put in an offer, already been prepared, and their offer could have gotten accepted. So there again, you are feeling defeated because you didn't set yourself up right. You did not position yourself right. So if you are thinking about buying a home in Colorado, if you want to fly out here and you want to look at homes and you want to go on showings, or you want me to take you around and you want to FaceTime or have me send you videos, and you want to purchase a home when you move here, you need to talk to me and you need to talk to my lender, because we need to get very clear on the numbers so that we can focus even further on the specific areas in the city that you're interested in that are going to be a match based on the finances. So this part is so important. I don't want you falling in love with a home or a neighborhood that you can't afford. And I don't want you falling in love with a home that somebody else falls in love with and takes it right from under you because you were not prepared. So please get prepared. Please reach out. Give me a call. Let's get you connected with my lenders. Let's get you pre-approved. And then let's go on showings and find you the house and go under contract. So very important part. And I see this mistake being made time and time again. And usually 90% of the time that this is done, the people I'm working with are losing out on the home or figuring out that they can't qualify for the home that they wanted, or there are certain times that they find out that they qualify for way higher, and then that changes things as well. So you want to be prepared. You want to be prepared so that you can position yourself correctly to win in this market. And step one is reaching out to me so that I can get you connected with my partners and so that we have true numbers that we can move forward with. Okay, so mistake number 4 is going to be waiting way too long to start your home search. I have people reaching out to me from this channel, and I'm so grateful. I'm so happy to talk to everybody, and I'm so happy to help anybody that needs help. And I get so excited anytime any one of you reaches out to me because my life has been changed moving to Colorado, and I love helping people do the same. It's truly so fulfilling, and I love what I do. So I love to hear from you. But I wince when you reach out to me and you say, Taylor, we're on our way up to Colorado and we're thinking about moving, and I'm taking a job and we need to be there in 2 months. Oh my goodness. We have to run. We have to get you going, and it's not impossible. I do have lending partners that are able to close in as little as 7 days. They're very, very quick. We can find you a home very quickly. But the chance of having buyer's remorse when you are moving that quickly is a lot higher. And I'm going to do my job. I'm going to make sure to really give you a reality check and make sure to circle back and say, is this really something that you are interested in? And I'm going to make sure to guide you through the process and make sure that you are protected on the inspection and appraisal. And we're going to make sure that you're okay and your earnest money is protected. But when you have 2 months to do all of the moving and packing and new job and orientation and buying a home and getting a lay of the land, that is so overwhelming and so stressful. And you're going to have so much more of an enjoyable experience if you reach out to me a lot sooner than that. So if you are 2 years out, that's not too far back. If you are 2 years out, I want you to reach out to me because that is a perfect time for you to reach out and for us to really get you set and get you all the information that you need so that in the meantime, as time passes and as time flies, which it does, you're going to be able to get familiar and really get confident in moving forward in the direction that you do when those 2 years passed. If you're somebody that has a year, 6 months, reach out now. And if you're somebody that has 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, reach out now because you are running out of time, and I want to make sure that I'm available to help you. And I also want to make sure that you, like I said, are able to move forward confidently and don't feel like you are under a lot of pressure. And when we have less time on our sides, you inevitably you inevitably feel pressured. So it's important that you reach out. It's important that you ask for help, and let's get you taken care of sooner rather than later. I'll put all my information up again, and let's have a conversation so that we can really get you set up, positioned right for when you're ready, even if that's not going to be for a couple of years. Mistake number 5, and this is truly going to be one of the biggest financial mistakes that you can make if you are moving here, and it's not having a local expert on your side. There are so many things that I have learned through this process and so many mistakes that I have made, so many big financial mistakes that I have made moving to Colorado, that if I would have asked for help, if I would have just swallowed some pride and said, you know what, I don't have to do everything on my own. I can actually ask for help and I can make my life easier and more enjoyable if I leverage somebody that is actually an expert in doing what I am trying to do. We would have had a lot more money. We would have been here quicker. We wouldn't have had to relocate to a completely different state. I wouldn't have had a situation where we were paying off the car because I didn't have gap insurance. There were just so many things that I would have likely been able to do differently because I would have learned from somebody else's mistakes. But I had to make the mistakes, and that's why I am sharing this with you, is because I don't want you to make those mistakes. I don't want you to have to make mistakes that you don't have to. I don't want you to have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars that you don't have to, that I have seen others, not only myself, spend when they are making these same mistakes. So make sure that you reach out. I would love to help you. I would love to help guide you through the process, really help you get clear on where you're wanting to move, if it's going to be the right fit for you, why it's going to be the right fit for you, or why it might not be the great fit for you. And then if that's the answer that we're landing on, then what area is going to be right for you? And then based on commute times, based on travel, based on the type of lifestyle that you want to live, that's very important to have somebody that is local helping you with those things, because there's a lot that you learn actually living here and being here boots on ground. So I would love to be that resource for you if you are thinking about relocating to Colorado, buying a house in Colorado in 2026. Definitely reach out to me. I would love to help you. I'll put all of my information right here. And then I do want to share just a couple of insights before you leave. Colorado is a destination state. Traffic is getting worse. It is going to continue to grow. And because it is a destination state, more people are going to want to move here. And that only raises the prices. So definitely reach out. I would love to help show you how you can get your closing costs paid, how you can ask for concessions, how you can really position yourself as a successful buyer in this current market. And it's important that you reach out now because things are changing overnight. The market is constantly shifting. And right now, depending on the market, it can be very favorable to you as a buyer. And those were the 5 mistakes that you want to be aware of and that you want to avoid when making a move to Colorado. And like, subscribe, hit that bell, reach out if you need help. And until the next one, have a great day, everyone. Bye.